Footage of a brand new weapon serving in Ukraine appears to show the first ever remotely controlled operation beyond a range of 1,200 miles. The system in question is known as the Hornet Vision Control, a system developed by the Ukrainian weapons designer Wild Hornets to enable soldiers to control Sting interceptor drones from far beyond the front lines. The Sting itself is a remarkable weapon on its own. While some interceptor munitions, like the American Patriot system, can cost between $6 and $10 million per missile, this unit costs only $2,100, in part thanks to its 3D printed frame. And even though it's low priced, the system can still go as fast as 213 miles per hour, reach altitudes of 10,000 feet, and even find potential targets on its own with the help of artificial intelligence. Ukrainian drones have already proven to be critical in striking Russian targets far beyond enemy lines. In footage of recent drone strikes, different units can be seen flying across enemy territory in broad daylight, appearing to pass over streets, roads, and even stadiums before locking onto a target. And once they do not hold back. In one swift motion, the systems dive down onto the enemy. Some military vehicles are occasionally seen trying to escape by engaging in fast, frenetic, evasive maneuvers. More often than not, the strike is so sudden that there's no time to run. And now, armed with Hornet Vision Control, Ukrainian unmanned attackers could be about to go even further. The demonstration video, shared by Wild Hornets, reveals just how easy it could become for Ukrainian soldiers to operate their lethal drones across the battlefield. Presumably, all that's needed is a portable computer and an external controller. While the exact location and target of the mission featured in the footage were not disclosed, the company confirmed that the Sting drone participating in the operation was based in the country's northern region, potentially near the Russian border. It was also stated that the operator was located 2,000 kilometers, or 1,242 miles away. The drone's camera system captures a rural landscape from the ground before takeoff. On the screen, the operator can see every move of the system as it rises toward the sky. There also appears to be additional data on the lower section and upper corner of the display, perhaps regarding the drone's speed, battery level, or coordinates. It could also be that the remote control system is reporting any potential threats or targets picked up by the drone that the operator hasn't noticed. Overall, controlling the Sting appears relatively easy, with the operator able to turn the camera around as the unit hovers across the field by simply pulling the external controller's lever. The Hornet Vision Control System has already proven its effectiveness in battle. Just earlier in April, the company behind the technology shared another video recorded by a Sting drone being remotely controlled, presumably by another operator working from a portable computer as it chases a Russian Shahed drone. The footage shows the drone rushing toward the incoming attack, seemingly adjusting its position in real time as it banks hard against it. The company stated that the strike occurred 500 kilometers, or 310 miles from the operator's location, making it the longest recorded strike by a Sting system to date. However, that record may soon be beaten, because as Ukrainian operators keep driving their drones over 1,000 miles away from their bases, it's only a matter of time before they start bringing destruction even deeper into enemy territory, all with just a laptop and a controller. Intelligence captured by satellites hovering over China's skies has analysts concerned that the nation could be preparing to unveil one of its largest and most advanced aircraft plants to date. It was J. Michael Dahm, the senior resident fellow at the Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies, who recently sounded the alarm upon identifying that one of the sites working for the Aviation Industry Corporation of China, or AVIC, located in the central Sichuan province, had received a notable boost. After analyzing images captured by Planet Labs' satellite systems, Dahm determined that nearly 4 million square feet of space for aircraft assembly had been added to the facility since 2021. But even then, China does not appear to be quite done with the site, as 50 acres of land have also been recently cleared for a potential further expansion. According to Dahm, quote, "The factory is now almost completely dedicated to manufacturing 5th-generation J-20 air superiority fighters. The plant is reportedly running 5 production lines for the J-20, with estimated production between 100 and 120 aircraft per year. While the J-20 is an impressive jet in its own right, combining advanced stealth capabilities with a range approaching 3,500 miles and lethal long-range missiles, it's also been noted that the plant may be preparing to host an even more impressive aircraft. Clues came when analysts zoomed in on another satellite image captured by Planet Labs. In it, one can see a lineup of regular-length shelters next to 2 extended-width hangars, potentially designed for a jet with a larger wingspan than the J-20. The most likely suspect is China's 6th-generation J-36 multi-role jet, which has been spotted around the facility in recent years. While there is still not much information about the aircraft, footage captured by onlookers has confirmed the use of a wide frame, which, at least in current variants, resembles the flying wing configuration of the American B-2 Spirit and B-21 Raider stealth bombers. Although the satellite images at the site alone can't reveal just how many of these aircraft China is aiming to assemble in the years to come, sources have warned that with upgrades like the one seen at the Sichuan plant popping up at other sites across the nation, China's aerial forces could soon be assembling up to 400 fighter aircraft every year. For comparison, some estimate that the United States currently produces around 300 fighters annually. If China does manage to reach this level of production and America doesn't pick up the pace, the People's Liberation Army could very well have the most powerful aerial fleet in the world before the end of the decade. To make matters even more complicated, it's not only advanced fighter jets that America has to worry about. Dom has also noted that satellite images of yet another facility in eastern China, operated by the PLA Rocket Force's 6th 11th Brigade, show recent upgrades, including tunnels, additional roads, and launch platforms across the site. Rather than use jets as its main line of attack, this site is believed to host a trove of mobile DF-26 ballistic missiles, which, according to Dom, quote, can cover the distance from the 6th 11th Brigade garrison to Guam in about 17 minutes. With a high loft trajectory, the missile could reach US and Japanese bases in Okinawa and the Ryukyu Islands in about half that time. Even if America attempted to refocus retaliatory strikes on the site, going up against the DF-26 moving unit across the wide complex would not be an easy task, especially given that it's believed there are numerous hideouts and dummy positions throughout the space, making any charge against them a strategic nightmare. In fact, it's estimated that it could take over 100 strikes to wipe out every single spot where the missile launchers could be hiding. Ultimately, however, all America can do is to continue investing in its own aerial strategy, keeping an eye on the skies over China to ensure that the moment these new bases become fully operational, the US is ready to counter. Satellite imagery has just revealed that Russia could be getting ready to deploy some of its most dangerous and longest-reaching kamikaze drones toward Ukraine. Alarms had already gone off late last year when Telegram channels following Russian military developments uncovered a series of images showing what's believed to be Russia's largest drone launch site, a nearly 2-square-mile facility boasting over 90 garages and a half-mile runway, located near the village of Tsimbolova, about 115 miles from the Ukrainian border. This would certainly not be the first time that Ukraine has had to face nearby drone threats. Just last year, the nation's Special Operations Forces released footage of a mission targeting a Russian drone launch base set within Ukraine itself, right in a former airport in the currently occupied region of Donetsk. At the time, Ukrainian drones landed an effective strike on their target, reportedly hitting up to 90% of the Russian weapons inside the facility. However, these were believed to be conventional Shahed-type munitions, most likely the Garan 2 drones that Russia has used as its primary loitering munition throughout the war, which, while certainly destructive, do not compare to the more advanced variants believed to be stored at the Tsimbolova facility. Upon analyzing images of the site, experts immediately noticed that the new launch platforms are over 260 feet long, about 3 times the length Russian soldiers would need to deploy standard drones, suggesting they're meant to launch a much more powerful munition, potentially the Garan 3, 4, or 5 variants. While there is not much official information on these drones, analysts state that the Garan 3 and Garan 4 are equipped with a turbojet engine, which allows them to reach speeds ranging between 185 and up to 230 miles per hour, about twice as fast as the regular Garan 2 drones. Even more worrisome for Ukraine, these munitions are also good at defending themselves during flight. Their navigation systems are reportedly jamming resistant, while some of them pack cameras that ground crews can use to keep an eye out for incoming drone hunters and potentially steer the munitions out of the way before they are intercepted. The Garan 5, however, is what Ukrainian officials will probably be more concerned about in the months to come. It's been reported that this unit is equipped with the Chinese Telefly TFT J2000A engine, which allows it to exceed 370 miles per hour, reach altitudes of almost 4 miles, and remain airborne for up to 2 hours. It remains unclear to what extent these more advanced drones are being launched from the new pads at Symbolova. While analysts note that satellite images show drones seemingly getting ready for deployment, there's been no direct confirmation that the site is regularly launching the more advanced Garan variants just yet. Still, Russia certainly appears to have big plans for this facility. Observers have noted that numerous civilian cars have been seen moving around the facility's different garages. While some could speculate that these are only serving as a means of transport for local personnel, there's also been talk of them being used as potential additional platforms from which drones can be launched, suggesting that, even with its notable improvements, the site ultimately seeks to keep increasing its strike capabilities. This theory could be supported by the fact that some analysts have also noted the presence of construction equipment around additional warehouses being assembled. While it's not impossible to tell just how far Russia aims to take this site, or what the full scope of its destructive capabilities could be, just by looking at these images, one thing remains clear. The country does not seem to have any intention of slowing down its war effort anytime soon, and the drone strikes that have defined the conflict with Ukraine for the last couple of years could soon enter a new level of devastation. Iranian forces seem to be ready to take their campaign across the Strait of Hormuz one step further, after footage showcasing masked armed men boarding 2 commercial vessels was shown on local news networks. While some hoped that tensions across the region might cool after President Trump extended his ceasefire, analysts immediately noticed a troubling sign: a satellite image showing a pack of small ships darting across the Iranian coast. The image reveals about 40 vessels, most likely belonging to Iran's so-called Mosquito Fleet, a formation of compact yet fast and aggressive attack vessels commanded by the Revolutionary Guard. According to experts, these ships tend to be heavily armed, packing anything from portable machine guns to attack drones, and even anti-ship missiles. While vessels traveling across the region may be equipped to counter these threats, few crews could withstand a rapid attack if surrounded by a formation like the one seen in the picture. Even more worrisome is that the formation shown in the satellite image could be far from the largest attack group Iran has up its sleeve. Sources state that while a good deal of Iran's traditional naval forces may have been neutralized, the nation could very well still have thousands of speedboats like these, many hidden along the shore, impossible to catch until it's too late to escape them. The attack came on April 22nd, when a swarm of these small hunters charged against 3 Panamanian ships attempting to cross the Strait of Hormuz. It's said that the ship Euphoria was struck. However, it was the other 2 ships, MSC Francesca and Epaminondas, that got the worst of it. In the video, captured by the Revolutionary Guards, a single boat approaches Francesca, potentially forced to halt by either direct fire or radio threats. Once in position, the Iranian crew, seemingly composed of fewer than a dozen men, proceeded to board the vessel with weapons at the ready. Inside, the Iranian soldiers continue clearing every hallway across the ship. At times, they're seen with rifles raised, potentially demanding the crew's cooperation as they proceed to seize the vessel. As of now, there have been no reports of shots being fired at any of the sailors on board. However, local media reported that the two vessels were effectively transferred to Iranian waters, where officials from the regime were said to proceed to inspect all cargo and documents on board. While many vessels have been attacked in the war so far, this represents the first time that Iran has effectively captured foreign ships, and there's a chance it won't be the last. While reporting on the incident, the Iranians also noted that any ship attempting to leave the Strait of Hormuz without the regime's explicit permission would be dealt with in a similar way. The White House has not declared the boarding and capture of these ships as a violation of the ceasefire, given that neither American vessels nor personnel were directly targeted. However, the country is not sitting still as Iran ramps up its tactics. Just recently, the United States shared footage of a successful operation aimed at stopping and seizing a ship attempting to transport Iranian oil across the strait. More so, President Trump appears ready to escalate the nation's response against any small attack vessels seeking to compromise American or foreign ships. In a recent social media post, the president claimed, quote, "I've ordered the United States Navy to shoot any boat, small boats though they may be, that is putting mines in the waters of the Strait of Hormuz. There is to be no hesitation."